Welcome back to Ask Rad Rat, where I answer all of your questions about skateboarding and skateboarding related topics. I've got a couple for you today. I do a lot more than just this, so subscribe to see stuff about all corners of the skateboarding world, like game reviews and all of that kind of thing as well. So the first question today is from A. Miggy, who is a repeat asker of Rad Rat, who asks, what will be the next shoe trend? I'd like to hear all of your comments about this. I'm not really too up on skate shoes exactly, but what you've seen a lot lately is more about having really thin shoes that are more low profile kind of thing, and more about board feel rather than support. And I think that that's kind of running its course to a degree. Maybe it'll start to change a little bit. One thing that you see sometimes is there's companies now that are doing like skateboard specific insoles for shoes. I think Joey Brzezinski, I don't know if he runs it or if he's just sponsored by it, but there's one he's involved with, and I think there's at least one more. And so I think maybe if those start to pick up and do get to be more popular, that skate shoes will try to compete with that and have them built in. Have, you know, a more arch support and more cushion and all that kind of stuff. I don't think it's going to go way back to the Osiris D3 days where the shoes were double the size of your foot and you could barely even walk in them. I think still having light shoes is going to be important because skateboarding is still really tech. So having a light shoe that doesn't get in the way and lets you do whatever you want is important, but I think support is going to come back. I don't know what it's going to look like exactly. I don't think high tops are going to come back, but you know, I'm not sure what the style is going to be, if that's what you're asking, but I think things are going to go back more toward a cushion and support kind of style. Next question is from Rick Harrison, who asks, what is the effect of concavity on skateboards and why are people riding more mellow now? So there's an interesting thing. Some early freestyle boards have been reissued. Like Powell has been reissuing some of these boards. And back then the boards were completely flat with no concave. And some of the new ones, the reissues, actually have a problem where a lot of them will be warped in some way. And it's weird because it's the exact same mold or, you know, recreation of it at least. Why are these so much worse? And the reason is because the plies are a lot thinner now. And the reason the plies are thinner is because the concave makes the board more rigid. So like my piece of paper here, if I'm sitting here reading it and there's a gust of wind, it's going to do that. If I fold it, it stays more rigid, right? So it makes the skateboard stronger. And so that was one of the biggest changes back then. You could go to a thin 7 plies like you have now, and that's good enough. Of course, they add in different things with technology, but so the boards are stronger for the same weight, the same amount of wood. I think that's a big thing. Of course, the board feel, the flip tricks, all that kind of stuff become a lot easier. Being able to feel where you are on the board. You know, if your foot, you can tell how angled it is so you know where it is on the board. Those are all advantages as well. Also, I think doing slides. So back in the day, you would have a flat board and you have 2 rails on it, and you would slide on the rails. One of the reasons people didn't really need those anymore is with concave, you're only really sliding on the middle. You know, you're sliding on one part at a time. And so you can get a little bit more slide out of it that way. So those are a few advantages to concave. I think the strength is one of the biggest ones. Plus being able to flick a little easier is a good thing too. So why are people more mellow these days? I think it's because the boards are bigger. And I just made a video about why boards are getting bigger, but the thing is, when the board's wider, it has more time to go way up, right? So the concave has to be more mellow so that the angle of the ends still ends up being the same, right? So for a bigger board, you need less concave, or your foot is just gonna bend in half when you step on it. I think that's the biggest reason for that. Thank you for all of these questions. Put your new ones below or on Instagram or Twitter. There are links to those in the description of this video. Thank you for giving me all these. You've been keeping me busy. There are links to some more videos above that you might want to check out, and thank you for watching.